Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants, welcome back to Code Vein and the Road to 100, where today this build and setup here with Mercury and Hammers and the GXM Exceed, probably a Veil you've not used very much, I've not used very much, so on and so forth, and what will be coming out of this will literally be just to show that anything paired with Jack and running Fatal Surge is good. It's just all good. And you'll see here that we're right below the weight threshold here at 123.5. So we're going to be running the Tyrant's Labrys and the Heavy Axe, both of them with ice, obviously, because ice slash here in the underground in the Ashen Cavern is exceptional. And so we'll be running these in the event that we need a little more damage. We can go for the Tyrant's Labrys, but overall we'll just go for the Heavy Axe, since this thing is kind of a weapon you pick up in the first area of the game, and after that you don't even think about it. And here now we are at 1.85 on our iCore recovery, so we will always have plenty of iCore available to us in order to get out any kind of damage on the enemy. Now we are going to have a free 30% ice resistance weakness here to each of these ladies and the big purple and red boys, so that is wonderful. And as we go for a backstab here, you see that we do pretty good damage overall there, and we can and we have so many, and we have two gifts, active gifts that we can go for to absolutely ruin the enemy anytime we get over to them. Whoops, he interrupted my attack there, which is very unfortunate, and we definitely want to be going for our weapon attacks here, because that is where our iCore comes from. Ouch. Okay. Okay. Oh man, he is definitely making it tough on us there, interrupting our dragon lunge and such. Definitely bad. But it's okay. We definitely have a really good amount of damage resistance on this blood veil, because the Exceed is a kind of a one of those heavier blood veils, and I can just take things to the face at different times. Okay, and good. And we'll go for this thing. Go for a launch. Okay, no launch. All right. Okay. Good. Okay. And you can see that the ice variant here does us very well. We have a good amount of damage always coming out of our attacks here, just because of the just because of the ice value, not because our weapon actually is any good or has that amount of damage possible that's coming out of it. But again, we are definitely taking some big hits here, using a lot of healing this early in the cavern. But the really nice thing about it is, right, that we have a really good ability to put out super amounts of damage here on the enemy, regardless of what their resistances are. There we go. And that is where Dragon Lunge comes in super helpful, is in those big attacks, in that second attack, because it does have a balance component to it. Okay. Okay. And this guy has a lot of damage resistance when he gets into that phase there where he's rearing back and going for some damage. So we'll go for Jack now to double our damage. Actually, it's a little more than double because of how the damage operators go. Okay, and versus these slugs here, we'll definitely get them going. Okay, and we definitely want to be attacking the enemy as much as possible here, because that is where our iCore comes from, is from our weapon attacks. Okay. Good. And then we got this lady here. Okay. So, okay, I was hoping we could trade attacks there, but didn't look like we were actually successful at all. Okay, so pretty good run there, slapping everybody around with our ice slash and such. And again, this is Mercury with the heavy axe with ice on it here in the Ashen Cavern. And remember that we're up at max difficulty here, so there's no higher enemy values here that we could be going for. What? Okay, I do want to backstab to increase our ichor here a little bit on the total cap. Okay, and as we get up to this lady, we'll definitely be going for backstabs here and such to make sure that we are getting the most bang for our buck here. Okay. Okay, and these guys again, remember they are weak to ice slash, so very good to make sure that we just annihilate them as fast as revenantly possible here. We're not a human yet, so we can say it that way. And as we get into the invasion, it's definitely going to be super difficult here, that's for sure, because we're not going to be able to have any kind of crowd control as we get into this fight, so it's really bad for us all around here. So we'll really have to pay attention to what's going on here. Okay, and as you see, I mean, we have enough gifts and everything that we have access to here to actually get the damage out on the enemy. It's just whether or not we actually are in a good position or not to actually do something. And as you see, our stamina is pretty much taking a hit a lot of the time. Okay, and we'll go for Hunting Feast and Jack. Probably should have healed up all the way there, but that's okay. And we'll go for some gifts and some different things here. Good, and let's switch for the Tyrant Slabbers here, just for a different weapon here. Not that we need it or anything, but it has kind of the same slashing pattern and stuff as the other. Oops, as the other one. Ouch. Okay, let's go for a launch here. Oh, Jack, please. No. Okay, well, that couldn't have gone worse. And it absolutely could not have gone worse in any possible way there. We got all the wrong things. We didn't get our launch in time. We got slapped. We couldn't dodge out of the way, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. But let's see how the Tyrant Slabbers operates here. It operates basically the same exact way as the heavy axe. It's just a little bit heavier of an axe, I guess you could say, as compared to the heavy axe itself. Okay, so as we get these guys going, all these guys are going to get all excited here and everything. So we'll make sure that we have everything up and running here. Oh, we missed him with the big heavy attack there. That's really sad and unfortunate. Definitely is not a good way to engage these guys, obviously, by missing your big attacks, because that is where the majority of your damage comes from. But at least we're in a good way here to get back into the invasion, with mostly everything active here and ready and available for us while we can. Okay, and we'll just go for a charge attack here. I mean, why not? It's easy enough and devastating enough that we might as well do it. And you can see that really when you have Jack active and not waiting for him to heal you and stuff, you can absolutely devastate the enemy and absolutely rock through them when you have Fatal Surge active. Whoops. Okay. Go, Jack, go. Okay, good job. And here, we'll go for a charge attack, if we can get it off. There we go. Good. And we'll go for Ice and Jack. Okay, and we'll get everything going here, and we'll head on in. Okay, so again, if you can survive the invasions and such, they're usually really good indicators of how good a build is and such. Oh boy. So you can see whether or not this is actually like a viable kind of a setup or anything, and it kind of gives you an idea of what you would and should go for during each of the events here. Okay, good. Get rid of her. Good. And they're warping around the corner there. So we definitely have pushed the spawn point here exceptionally well. Oh, we got this guy. Okay. Good, we'll get a backstab into a dragon lunge here, and that will definitely help us take care of him easily here. Very nice. So again, that's how that invasion should have gone last time, but as you saw, it was pretty pathetic overall, I guess you could say. So adding Jack here to our attacks and such definitely super makes us powerful to crazy levels. Okay, good. Oh, and that shooter there is always the one that you gotta watch out for. Okay, and we'll just trade blows here with her. Hopefully we get the launch here and into the kill. Okay, so again, just kind of a method here to show that Jack paired up with any weapon in any code in any way really does you well pretty much in any kind of fight that you run up against any of these enemies here. I think we'll stick with the Labris for the fight here. And we'll go for a couple of backstabs along the way here to make sure that we're getting enough damage out and enough ichor recovered. Okay, and see there, we got slapped pretty hard, but we only lost like 500 health, which is pretty good. I'm happy about losing only 500 health. That's not significant enough in any way to make me think that I'm in trouble, which is very nice. Okay, so 28 is a good amount here. We'll get all our gifts going here, so when we get some of the backstabs and such here on this lady, we should be... Ouch. Okay, now I'm starting to feel a little bit problematic here. Okay. And we should be able to go for another one. Oh, and instead we're just going to kill it. Okay, now we do have 60 seconds active here with Jack's Fatal Surge, so we'll go ahead and load up all the way here. We'll go for Jack, and then we'll go for Ice. So we have a good amount of damage here on this fella. Oops, of course I missed. Okay. Okay. Okay, now if he does stagger here, we will be in really good pace here. Okay, and let's go for a charge attack here. Oh, I don't think we hit him at the right time there. So let's back up. Go for ice now. Oh. Wow, here he's zooming like crazy. Ouch. Thanks, Jack. Jack is dead now. And I'm dead now. Okay. The Gilded Hunter, he's always a fun fight, you know? He's just always one of those fights that you're like, what is happening? But the problem with this fight, right, is that we can't heal anything along the way here. So we have to either use our regen inducers or pure blood, one or the other. There's nothing we can do about it. That's just the way the fight goes when you're paired with Jack. But you can see that we're paired pretty well here with Jack overall. There we go. And maybe a backstab. Oh, perfect. We got three drain attacks on that fine specimen there. Okay, and that'll do us really well here for this lady. Since we want to get at least one drain and then get all of our gifts going here, so we have a good amount of ichor moving whoops, moving into the fight up here, which we didn't get enough there. So let's get at least her going, and maybe go for a couple of backstabs here, or at least just some attacks. There we go. That's good enough for me. And we'll head on over here. They won't follow, and then Jack will teleport over here with me if he's... Yep, there he is. Okay, good enough. Now that is kind of the weird thing about the fight here, is that you have to kind of do all of this before the fight to make sure that you have enough ichor here during the fight. Okay. Jack's dead? What? Okay, and let's go for a charge attack now. There we go. Oh, good grief. Thanks, Jack. Okay. Oh, that should have been a pure blood. Yep, we're dead. Jack. Thank you, sir. Wow. Jack actually healed me. Let's go ahead and pure blood here. Okay. Nice. Okay. Jack said very nice, so must be very nice. Okay, and we don't have Fatal Surge anymore, but that's okay. Okay. Okay, and this should do him right here. There we go. So 2 attempts, and it does pretty well overall, just because of the fact that in phase 1, when you are running with Jack, you're able to absolutely do some crazy things with his amount of damage, and if you can actually get him damaged in phase 2, you gain that extra ice weakness, and that is in your best interest to actually get as much ice possible on him in phase 2. We were very, very unsuccessful there during that phase 2 encounter, but that's okay. Now, running Mercury here, I mean, this isn't something, again, that I would say, oh yeah, definitely run out. Mercury breaks the game. It's completely ridiculous, but running these two with the GXM Exceed, it makes for a good pretty balanced setup here, but you're still having really, really over the top kind of damage. And let's see what that damage looks like. So here, remember, you have a 20% extra, so you're almost at 2600 here on your Tyrant's Labyrinth, and you're at almost 2300 on the heavy axe, which the heavy axe is pretty nice, because again, this is one of the lower tier weapons. It has one requirement, and it has one scaling value, and it is literally just a physical slashing weapon, and it does one damage type. So there is nothing flashy about this thing at all. There's no secret hidden modifiers or anything, and 22, 26 is actually pretty good, pretty respectable damage. It's nothing on the Wrathful Balmung level that we had last time in the Ridge, but it definitely is pretty interesting here. And then on top of that, you have your 20%, your 20%, the 40, and then if you were going for the regular enemies, you'd have another 30%, so that'd be a 70% increase in your damage for no reason other than just for running ice. So you would be at a 3784 actually on the card here for the lost, or for, not the lost heavy axe, but for the regular heavy axe here, and that is pretty good for one of the most low tier beginning weapons that you can possibly get. And if we went for something crazier, like maybe Queenslayer or something, this value would go up even more. So 927's 953, it's already going up from there. 1005 on Atlas, and if we would go for something like Warrior, 1005 there. Our Hades would be good. Any one of these very, very heavy strength blood code laden blood codes here would do really, really well. And it would do well also on Cert here, because it's a fairly low weight limit on this weapon. So you'll see here, if we run Cert and we run something like I don't know, just the Ivory Grace here or something, we run something like that, we are at the below the weight limit here. If we had uh, uh, Revenant's Ambition running, and so there you go. We're at quick mobility with this thing that we could have it all the time. So if we're running something like this, and if we had you know, Hammer Mastery there, we're at 1239. So this thing's already starting to scale up quite a bit, and then we could go for all the things like what we had before: Tormenting Blast and Dragon Lunge and Jack. Yeah, and the problem is we're at 16 Ichor, so you would need a Backstabber 2 or something, so probably go for the Devour here, or I don't know, maybe the Fortified, just to go for as much damage here as possible, if you could even go for a Bridge to Glory and such. And you can see that we're already able to, yeah, we could go for Bridge, that would be good, and Hunting Feast, I guess. And instead of this, we would go for a Bridge to Glory. So if we would do this, we could go like that and have 1847, and then we could go for Jack and have, you know, doubling. So you'd be up in the 5 or 6,000 range, while having quick mobility here on the heavy axe. And again, it's one of the beginning weapons. Absolutely weird. But running with Jack, almost anything becomes very good and overpowered. So anyways, Mr. White Suit here himself, definitely looking dapper. But thank you, Jack, and thank you to everyone who's watching, and we'll see you tomorrow in the City of the Falling Flame for some more fun with Jack on the Jack run.